Just 25 days until the 2022 midterm elections.
And what's crucial is that a number of races have the ability to change the balance of power in the U.S. Senate. One of those races is in Georgia. Democratic incumbent Raphael Warnock will face his Republican challenger, Herschel Walker, on the debate stage tonight. The first debate between the pair comes 3 days before early voting begins and on the heels of controversy. Walker recently made headlines when a woman came forward claiming he paid for her to have an abortion despite his anti-abortion campaign platform. Walker denies those allegations. CBS News congressional correspondent Nikole Killion joins us now from outside the debate hall there in beautiful Savannah, Georgia. Nikole, I know you've been speaking with voters ahead of this debate. What are some of the big topics the candidates expect to touch on?
Well, as you can imagine, it's the issues we continue to hear about. The economy it continues to be front and center. High gas prices, high grocery prices, high energy prices, as well as for many women that we talk to, the issue of abortion rights. But there's a lot more than just that. As you mentioned, we've been talking to voters all across the state, from Atlanta here to Savannah. Just yesterday, we spent a lot of time in the hometown of Herschel Walker, a town called Wrightsville, as well as here in Savannah, which is where Senator Warnock grew up. And of course, while we talk to a lot of voters who have some personal recollections and reflections on these candidates, having had interactions with some of them, they also are very interested in what both candidates are going to say tonight. Take a listen.
I want to know, get everybody to see what their opinion is about everything, and how one says they're going to do something to improve and how the other one says they're going to do something else to improve it. And just kind of go from there and just, kind of look at it and see who I really want to vote for.
If I can find truth out of a candidate, that will impress me. Because a lot of times when they get in office, they just start lying. And then you might catch them then, you might catch them a week later. But if they tell the truth, more people will look to them and say, hey, he's an honest fella.
And that's something we heard a lot from voters, that they really kind of want to cut through the noise and really just hear what the candidates have to say on the issues. Obviously, the elephant in the room are this latest story that you mentioned, Errol, with respect to Herschel Walker and allegedly paying for this woman's abortion. The voters we talked to aren't so much concerned with all of those headlines and accusations. They don't want this to devolve into a personal fight, but some are concerned that this is exactly what could potentially happen.
Yeah, that was going to be my question, Nikole, is, what voters have actually said with respect to this controversy. How much is that realistically front and center for them? Because we obviously have been covering it quite a bit. It's been in the headlines quite a bit. But what is on the minds of voters, sometimes, there's a bit of a gap at moments. So what is it that they have been saying about this controversy?
Yeah, well, absolutely. In terms of many of the voters that we talk to who do support Herschel Walker, their take on it is, for the most part, they believe what he has been saying. They, dismiss these accusations. And, in the words of one voter, he said, well, somebody's lying. And, he kind of just, again, kind of wants to know who that might be. But that being said, I wouldn't say it's necessarily front and center for a lot of voters, because, again, especially when you talk about some of these economic issues, that really comes to the fore. In terms of a lot of Democratic voters that we talk to, those who support Raphael Warnock, their main issue is they just don't think Herschel Walker is qualified. They feel that Reverend Warnock, he's been in office for the better part of a year plus. They feel that he has proven himself, that he is trustworthy, and so that's why they feel that he should get the job for the next 6 years. So that is just a sampling of what we've been hearing over the last couple of days here. And the other thing, I would say with regard to some of these allegations and accusations that have been out there, a lot of voters tell us, they don't want to be judgmental. They feel that, politicians, nobody's perfect. And so many voters are willing to look past a lot of this. And like I said, they don't want to see this turn into a lot of backbiting and political sniping tonight.
All right, Nikole Killion in Savannah, Georgia for us. Nikole, thank you very much.
Thank you, Nikole.
You bet.